All right, so this is the step-by-step video this is for the 3D assessment. I'm borrowing this from SourceCAD. This was just a pretty straightforward stepwise tutorial. It's 13 steps that basically take you each step of the way until you get to this, which is exactly where it starts. So if you look at this, obviously a number of circles and some extrusions and some subtractions. Pretty straightforward. Okay. So, not a bad idea. It may not be a bad idea to go ahead and copy this and paste it right on your Autodesk screen or on your AutoCAD screen. But I think I can probably remember. So what I'm going to do is start by doing these two circles. One of them is a radius of 26 and one's a radius of 22.5. So I'll go right here. I'm going to draw a circle. And I'm going to go 26 for the first one. And I'm going to do 20, oops, base point 22.5, right? There we go. There's my two circles and blow those up a little bit. And then going back to here, we see that we have two circles and these are centered on the outer quadrant of the outer, or the 12 o'clock position, which would be the quadrant of the outer circle. So one is a radius of 6 and one's 2.5 centered on the outer circle. So I'll go circle right here, 2.5, and then again, a radius this time of 6. Now I've completed those two steps. I'm guessing probably what they're going to have me do is go ahead and copy these to the 4 quadrants, but let's go ahead and see what happens next. And okay, so in this case, instead of copying them, they say select polar array from the modify paddle tab and select the 2 small circles. I'm not going to do that. In mine, I'm just going to copy them, which that would work. It would make associative properties, but instead, I guess I could do it. Well, I'll follow their instructions and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of mine and I'm going to put it over here just in case I don't like what they did. Okay. So let me see if what I would do is this. I would just copy this and I would drop it on these outer quadrants 4 times. Okay. What they're suggesting that we do is go ahead and take these and then go into a polar array. And they're going to want our center point of our array to be right there. But we don't want 6 objects. We want to have 4. And I can close array. Okay. Now let's go back and see what they tell us to do next. We've done that. Delete the biggest circle and select the fillet command. Now enter R on the command line and type 7 as the radius of the fillet. Okay. It says now apply this fillet at the intersections of the circle with the radius of 2.5 and 22.5. The radius of 2.5 and 22.5. So let's see. So delete the outer circle. And then it said select a fillet. Am I right about that? Delete the biggest circle, select fillet, and a radius in the command line type 7. Okay. So we'll go F space for fillet, R space for radius, and we'll type in 7. And we should be able to click that. Now here's why I don't like why that doesn't work, because it's made this an associative property, okay, which means that it's regarding this as for the same thing. So that's why I think I could do it faster just by trimming it. Fillet radius 7. We'll go from here to here, and here to here. And I can go from here to here, hit spacebar, and that allows you to repeat. Spacebar allows you to repeat. allows you to repeat, spacebar. And I just realized that this was supposed to be from the inner circle to the outer circle. So that looks better. Inner circle. There we go. It's made a couple of mistakes so far, nothing too big of a deal. There we go. Okay, so those outer ones go away. Get rid of these. Erase, erase, and erase these. Erase these and these. I'm guessing the next step is going to have some trimming. Right here. Okay, so that's what we have. So again, I'm glad I didn't use the array one because I would have had to unassociate those properties, and I think that's a pain in the neck. Go back. What do they tell us to do now? Trim all the geometries. So we want to have nothing other than 4 circles in this outer profile. Okay. If you're using 2021, you're going to find in a hurry that trim has changed pretty substantially. And I don't think I'm a fan of it. I don't really like it, how they did it. So there we go. So what I did was I just trimmed that way. And now I can go back and erase these. Erase those. So let's see if I have what they have. Go back to here. Go back to here. Trim all the geometries. Type J on the command line, and then select the geometry. Press enter again. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and select and join all this, obviously, because all these fillets and little outer profiles we want. And it said to go to a southwest isometric view. And that does not look too southwest isometric-y to me, but there, I like that a little bit better if I orbit. And then let's see what they would like us to do. Press pull on the command line, click the location inside of the geometry, and it looks like we're actually missing something here. It looks like we're missing a couple of like actual pieces of, there we go. That helps, right? So press pull. So what they want us to do is they want us to extrude this, and then they want us to create a circle on the top face of this. And then they want us to extrude that circle. And then they want us to make one more extrusion and then a hole through it. So they use press pull, which I don't like. I would rather just use extrude, and that's totally fine. So what I'm going to do is follow their directions, except instead of press pull, I'll use extrude. So this one says height of 3 units and go from there. Now, one thing I can do is I know that this one, so this tells me a thickness of 3 units, and I'm just going to kind of fast forward. This one says it wants a radius of 17 units. And then this one says that's going to go 5.5 high. And then this one is a radius of 14 units. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and draw a radius of 17. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw a radius of 14. So I'll go, so I'm kind of like reading ahead a little bit. Okay. And and what I'll do then is I'll select these and go up with these first. Let me see if there was any other holes. Do they want us to take? Nope, that's this final size hole. So in this case, I'm going to add all of these together. So first it wanted me to go up on the highest one, so that which is the tallest one. The smallest is the tallest, right? So the 14 is the tallest one. So I'm going to go 3 units up plus 5.5. So that's 8.5 plus 3.5. So that is 12, which means that the inner circle can go up 12. So we'll go ahead and do this, and I'll go extrude, bring this one up 12. This one we'll go ahead and figure out was, I believe it was 5 plus 3.5. 3.5 here. And 5.5 here. So 3.5 and 5.5 is 9. So in this case, I'll go up 9. Extrude. Bring this one up 9. And then these, I can extrude all of this 3.5. Okay. And let's see what happens when I shade it with edges. Okay. Now, all I have to do is finish with a little bit of subtraction. So out of this part, I'm going to select here, 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 and there. And all of those go away. Let's go and see what does it look like here. How close am I? All that is done. And it looks like I'm missing one hole in the middle, which is a radius of 11. Okay. So if I come down now, I'm going to get out of shaded. I'm going to go back to wireframe. If I do a circle here at the bottom, if I can get it centered, which now is a little bit of a nightmare. So, because it's trying to pick up on like every single object snap. So if I can go from bottom to bottom, now I have a good spot to jump into. 11. Now I'll go ahead and extrude this. And in this case, I can just bring it way up into outer space because I'm using it like a punch. Okay. And at this point, my little line can go away. And we will go to here, realistic. I'm going to go back and do a subtraction again. Grab that and select that and get it gone. Hopefully that went all the way through. Nope, it didn't. So grab all of these, or rather this, this, and this. Subtract. I wanted to take this, this, and this. Right click, and I want to get that out of it. And that made it hollow all the way through. Okay. What else are they asking for? Type 13, F on the fillet command to start the fillet command type, and type F. Press enter on the start fillet command line 1.5. Now select the edge between the flange piece and the biggest cylinder, which they're looking right here. And let's go ahead and do that. So they're saying what we want to do is make a smooth transition here. So we'll go fillet. I can select radius and type in 1.5, then select that edge right there, enter, right click, enter. Now you can see it made it just right. So that is what your piece should look like when it's all said and done. 4 holes. Sometimes this is probably like a good test of, sometimes when you read, it's sometimes not a bad idea to skip a step and like kind of scan over them and look, because I can see that what I would have had to do if I followed their directions in perfect order, I would have had to then create this as my new surface to draw off of, and then create this as my new surface to draw off of, and then create this as my new surface to then extrude a hole and drill that out. So I thought it was easier actually just to run everything up through the bottom. But that's just me. So good luck. Hope that works for you. And that's it.